realize and recognize more and more about how the power of your attention, the power of the things that you focus on start to manifest, come into reality, whatever it may be. So what I want you to do, and this is something that I've constantly done myself as well too, is think about something as if you were experiencing it in the present moment, not as if it was like happening later. Like, feel it as if it was actually happening. The best way that you can do this as well is to think about it in terms of, what do I want to see on maybe my feed on like YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or wherever it is, or Reddit even. Like, what is the thing that you want to focus on? And whatever that thing is, continue to focus on it just enough, like just enough. And then just let it go and forget about it. Don't think about it any longer, just let it go. Just release it. And what will happen from doing this, at least from my experience, is eventually something will show up on my feed. So like a case in point, or an example for this is, I really wanted to see that, like, flying and like somebody that was able to fly and things along those lines. And this was something that had never shown up on my like YouTube feed or algorithm. Like, there's no way that these videos could have been connected in any way, shape, or form, at least from my perspective. There's no way that it could have been. And for me thinking about it constantly, well, not constantly, like just a one or two off type of thing, as soon as I dropped it and let it go, eventually there ended up coming onto my YouTube homepage a couple of yogis that were like in the Himalayas that were able to like levitate. And I was like, well, this is kind of crazy. And I would do this constantly for different areas or different aspects, where I would just like imagine thinking it or feeling it or needing to hear this said thing from this said person at this specific time. And from doing that, my mind and the algorithm, even though the algorithm is the mind itself, eventually started to create that and show it to me in the way that it needed to show it to me in. So I was able to see and experience those things on like my YouTube feed, which was great for me. Like, it was a really cool experience. And the same thing happened with like TikTok and a couple of like Instagram when I did have it. So like, this is what I say, like, I challenge you, or I want you to test it, is like, think about something, feel it as if it were real, and then watch it become real. Watch it start to manifest into your reality. Because as I've done this, and as I hope you do this as well too, you can start to see that you can start to influence what you start to consume. Because our algorithms, maybe you're like, oh, how does this ad know that I was talking about this? And it's like, people say it's the microphones and things like that, but what if it's not? What if it's actually your thought pattern of you needing to view this said thing at this specific time, and then it's just presented to you? Like, what if that's the actual case, and it's not like these targeted ads like everybody's talking about? Like, it's just these different things and these different ideas that I like to consider and or think about that seem to drive different perspectives for myself, and hopefully for you as well too. Because the first time that I experienced it and thought about it, I was like, this is crazy. And then all of a sudden it just happened. So that's my, I guess, 2 cents for the day. I was trying to get in front of some people. But yeah, if you are able to think about it, it might not show up on your feed. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. That's only for you to know once you see it. Once you see it, like, you'll just know it. Some people will be like, no, that's not how it works, and that's fine. They don't have to believe it. That's the great part about being a human, is you get to believe the things that you yourself want to believe to be true. And from my experience, when I see the things that I want to believe and that I do believe to be true, things start to get better, things start to change, things start to shift and mold into these different ways that they hadn't originally presented themselves in. And I want to share that with you because maybe you're struggling with something, maybe you're looking for something new, maybe you need a message, maybe you need some sort of signal or cue or whatever it may be, and maybe I'm the one to give you the permission. Because I don't have to give, like, nobody else has to give you permission to allow for you to have the things that you want to have in your life. You are the only one that ever has to give yourself permission to have anything that you want in your existence. Some people might be like, no, that's not true. But I could be like, it is. And I just see 1111 on a license plate right then and there. So it's like, some people would be like, that's crazy. But there's other people such as myself and other people watching the videos that are like, no, that is true. Like, that is how this works. That's just how I've been able to see how it works. And I figure, like, if it's helped me out, maybe it can help you out as well too. I don't like when people drive in the fast lane going slow. But there's one last thing as well too, is like, there's no such thing as anything, nothing is inherently bad or good. everything is inherently neutral, and it all comes down to your perspective. And I can make a whole different video on that a little bit later. But I was just thinking about that because we always have options to make these decisions or choices that we want to make, and you're going to be the one to decide what you focus on. And you can either continue to focus on the good and start seeing more good and positivity and light and amazingness around you, or you could look at it on the other side of the coin. I guess I just see it as like things will just work out in the ways that they need to work out in, and things will happen in the time that they need to happen. So everything will be fine. You'll figure it out. Just start focusing on the thing that you need to focus on, and things will just work. I don't know how or why. And you can always listen to a book. It's like a 20-minute audiobook on the Master Key Society's YouTube page. It's called It Works. Super simple, easy book, but it's a book that I'd highly recommend you listen to, or even pick up your own copy of it yourself. Just an overall good book to read, I would say. So yeah, I guess there was one other thing that I wanted to bring up, but for the time being, you'll have to let me know what ends up showing up on your feed that is like completely against your algorithm, that like you never see beforehand. Because there are no limits. There's literally a license plate right in front of me that says no limit. The only limits that we have are the limits that we set upon ourselves. And this is why I say you don't have to have permission to do anything that you want to do. You just have to give yourself the permission. Maybe you have to have a permission slip, or you have to have a reason or a why to do it. Then like do that said thing. Like if you have to have a ceremony or a structure or something that you have to do to make it seem as though you can manifest this or create this or have this come into your attention or into your world, then do that said thing. You can also just create it out of thin air as well too. And that's why I'm such a big proponent, like, just focus and pay attention to the things that do matter. And what does matter is the thing that you decide to have matter. Nothing else matters other than that said thing. So I hope this helped. I know it's helped me quite a bit. And maybe you'll get some different signals, messages, cues, ideas, perspectives from doing this said thing. And yeah, play with it a little bit. It's a game after all. We're living in the greatest play ever created, the game of life. So you might as well play and use the cards to your advantage in the ways that you know how to use them. And with that being said,